today. They say the danger's gone away, but I can see the fire still alive.
Welcome everyone. As mentioned previously, besides the initial testing done with the compounds in our cutting compound series, I was also going to do as much as I could to capture some footage of those compounds out in the shop doing some real world work, and I happened to do so. I'm going to share that with you today, so let's take a closer look or a further look at the Jescar Correction Compound. All right, so here we have yet another rover from the Land Rover Range Rover Club. I take care of owners and drivers from local clubs, such as this Range Rover Club and the Corvette Club and many others. This one here has seen its better days, has high mileage, but we want to do a two-step on this today. We're not going to worry about deep scratches and gouges. We just want to remove the heavy swirling and then follow up with an ultra-fine polish, bring out the best clarity and shine we can, and protect it. We're going to use Jescar today, and we're going to take care of those swirls with that and many polishers and many pads and a few different combinations. Let's get it started. The Jescar Correcting Compound, $19.99 for 8 ounces, or you can get 32 ounces for $44.99. It's able to remove some moderate swirls, scratches, blemishes. We're going to start here with it on the long throw using a microfiber cutting pad. We're just going to do a small section, a test section, to see what it's going to do for me. How many passes is it going to take? How is it going to cut on the moderate hardness of this Land Rover? As I aforementioned, the clear coat on the Range Rover Land Rover line is stubborn at times, and I do like to start off with the least aggressive method. So when I'm starting off with a long throw and a microfiber cutting pad, you know the clear is quite stubborn, and that's what we're going to do here. Jescar is another quality compound that comes out of the bottle, a white, creamy formula, and quickly changes into a clear, opaque, oily film that you work and you can see through, so you can keep an eye on the section you're correcting. I would really like to get away with just one pass with this correction. So I'm going to take my time with this long open or long cycle time that the Jescar Correcting Compound has and do a crisscross pattern, take my time, slow, exaggerated arm movements. That'll do it. Give me a minute. I'll put down the polisher. We'll wipe off the residue. And that's another thing I like about the compound. It's user-friendly, easy to wipe off. Doing a two-step is already enough work. We don't need a compound that we have to fight and really work to get the residue off after working a section. Okay, so as for the hood itself, it has a lot of blemishes, has a lot of chip marks, a lot of swirling. This is going to work here. I'm going to use the light and show you the best I can. We're going to jump to the side where it's easier to see the swirls, but it's definitely going to work here with one pass for the hood. Let's jump to the side. We're going to go to the fender here. I have everything masked off, ready to go. We're going to grab the 3-inch polisher and just use a run-of-the-mill orange cutting pad. We'll work around the emblems just above the character line and the plastic trim, and we'll get some of the hard to reach places. Then we'll grab a larger polisher for the rest of the fender. Okay, let's wipe off the residue and see where we stand. It would really be nice if I can get away with one pass on the side here as well. That's really going to keep the time down on this two-step correction. Okay, so we want to keep an eye on just above the plastic trim and around the emblem, and indeed it has removed all the blemishes and swirl marks. So let's take care of the rest of the fender. And for the rest of this fender, I'm just going to use the Torque 10X short throw polisher. It's light, it's skinny, it's balanced, it's very easy to use. I had a great conversation with a good friend of mine a couple days ago about how we're starting to regret breaking out the long throw polishers, the awkwardness of them. They're bulky, they're a little bit harder to use. So it's great when we could just use these little light polishers to get in between tighter areas. This here happens to be one of them. The Flex 3-inch polisher is another, and yet another would be the 2-inch pneumatic polisher. Okay, good enough. Let's wipe off the residue. Let's see where we stand. And again, hopefully, we only need one pass to remove all those swirls and blemishes. Indeed, it has done a great job on the first portion of that fender. We're going to finish it off. The only swirls that remain are in the arch of the fender flare. I'll take care of that with my little 2-inch polisher. But for now, let's just buzz off the rest of those swirls, finish off the fender. Okay, we easily wipe the residue away. Give me a second to grab the camera. We'll take a look. The fender is complete. Now, the door is the worst part on the driver's side here. So I'm going to take care of just a small section of the door and just show you one last time what the Jescar Correcting Cream can do for you. And as we prepare for that, I could show you the detailing tape I enjoy for pinstriping. I purchased 3M and also Kamikaze here. They sell 3 different sizes. This size here is perfect for pinstriping. And the width of this pinstriping will take no more than 2 stripes to cover it completely and protect it. Although this pinstriping here is custom and painted on, it doesn't matter if it's vinyl or painted, you still want to protect it. The tape is user-friendly, easy to bend around shapes, it's pliable, so you can tape up not only pinstriping, but any type of emblem. Not only is the tape strong, but it's low profile, so the pad from your polisher can easily brush up against it, pass over it without lifting up an edge. Alright, so for the ledge up at the top of the door here, above the pinstripe and below the window, I'm just going to use the 3-inch polisher and show you how the Jescar works with a standard foam, orange foam cutting pad. Alright, we have it cut, we have the residue removed. Let me grab the camera and find a good angle using the light so I could best show you what the Jescar Correcting Compound does with just a standard foam pad. Alright, so for one more quick demonstration before I end the video, we're going to hit the side of the door here where those swirl marks are easily visible and we will easily be able to see if they're removed properly. So give me a couple seconds here. I'm going to cut them off, we'll remove the residue, and we'll take a look. The Jescar also works well with my little pneumatic 2-inch polisher and the Buff Daddy 2-inch microfiber cutting pad. Those are great for down around the character lines and in hard to reach places. Okay guys, so that's what the Jescar Correcting Cream can do. If you are in need of a new compound, you can revert back to these videos, take a look at what they can do, how they perform, and then base a decision on purchasing one from there. So I hope these help. Now guys, the Jescar Compound used to be up on the podium early on. It's still in the honorable mention section, which is really not a knock on the compound. Anything on the podium or down in the honorable mention section are great compounds and will work for you. Just happens to be my order. The reason it's not up with the top 3 for me is it didn't have the initial bite that some of the top compounds do. Has great cycle time, great open time. Minimal dusting, minimal to no dusting whatsoever. Easy to wipe off the panel, easy to work with, gets along with just about any pad. It just lacks a little bit of the cut or the bite that some of the top compounds have. But I'll put a link down below if you want to look into it a bit further. If not, if you have any questions on what we did today, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.